back to let you know I can really do what I gotta do. Um, this is series 25, and I'm gonna take. I left off where we were in 79th Street, boat basin, right? So I think it's called the boat basin. Um, so after that, we went to 96th Street, Riverside Drive, with Grand Stewmans. That's where the young kings were hanging out. We went up there. One of the guys said, "Yo, I don't see little Hector here." And he said, "Well, forget about it. Let's whip their ass. They came to our block, so let's do it to them." That's what we did. We said, "Bing, bang, bing, bang, bang, bang," and we ran back to 85th Street. You know, I would say a couple of days later, man, Tony got into a fight with one of the Buccaneers, man, and they were rumbling right there on 84th Street, man. Everybody was there like this, you know, and it was a good fight, you know. They came out even, all right, and he fought this guy named Bembe, you know, which Bembe became like you know, we acknowledge each other. You know, he had gone away and came back. You know, we acknowledge each other all the time. Anyway, um, then right after that, there was an incident in school where the president of the vampires at the time, his name was Bobby, and he came into the classroom screaming, ah! So I'm like trying to find out what's going on. So when I looked, he looked at me and said, "What you looking at, MF? You talking to me like that?" "Yeah, I'm talking to you." "Oh, okay." I put my work down. The teacher wasn't in the room. I put my work down. And we got up and we were thumping. I got the best of him. So when they separated the fight, he said, "Oh, at 3 o'clock I'm gonna kill you." I said, "Yeah, okay." So my boy Knuckles, he was a 7 diamond, he was in the next class. He found out what was happening because somebody had told him, "Yo, your boy, Babyface, man, he got into a fight with." So he can't say, "Yo, everything all right?" I said, "Yeah, everything is cool, but this dude talking about he gonna kill me at 3 o'clock, you know?" He said, "Don't worry about it, man. I'm gonna send the word out." And he did. The word went out, and it came back to Tony. And 7 diamonds was right there, man. At 3 o'clock, they were right there, man, against an army of whoever. And I'm gonna tell you, there was Latin gents were there, Chinos people, Latin gents were there. The Jesters were there from 78th Street. Some of the Buccaneers were there. Tiger was there. Louis Tiger from the Royal Bishops was there. They chanted Angels, Chaguito, and Alex. There was a lot of people. Some people were for us, some people were with Bobby, I guess. So, you know, Tony said, what you got to be with him? I said, yeah. He said, "Let me talk to him." So he talked to him and he told the guy, he said, "Listen, you want to fight my man one-on-one, you can do it. Ain't no killing over here, you know?" And he said, "You want to fight?" He said, "You told him on the DL. Nah, man, leave it alone." Because I thumped him up, man. I really thumped him up. So he said, "Well, shake hands with him." So he shook hands with me. Louis Tiger said, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah. And then everybody like broke. Everybody, you know, joking around, this, that, and the other. 7 diamonds walked down the middle of the block up to Amsterdam Avenue. We went up to 81st Street, and that was really an amazing situation that I was that day, you know. And I gotta give it to the 7 diamonds; they were there for me, you know. Then I started seeing a girl that was, you know, with us and whatnot for a hot minute, you know. And there were times we would drink We were drinking, you name it. If it was Muscatel, we drank Muscatel. Swiss up, Swiss up. You name it, whatever it was, Gypsy Rose or Ombre, what, and I would be drunk. I mean, drunk. That was something I had. I said to myself, I can't do this. I got to, you know. So eventually, I started to wean away from the. I got a part-time job, you know, for Western Union, stuff like that, you know, and I kept more to myself. And they asked me, "Yo, why you don't come around the block, blah blah blah?" I said, "Nah, you know, 'cause I gotta help out. You know, I got a job, I gotta help out, I gotta do this, I gotta do that." Anyway, I there was this girl where I lived in 308, and we started seeing each other. She was Irish and beautiful chick, and you know, we started seeing each other, and then after that, um, that's when that the lady I'm talking about, I said previously, um, that she called me. The lady was Sandra Lansky. She called me, blah blah blah, and asked me if I can buy the milk and this and that and the other. So right around that time, um, while I was staying, because I would stay in her house, you know, more than my house. She took me under her wing like a little brother, you know. And she needed company, I guess, you know. She needed company because her husband was she had broken up with her husband, and he owned the Rappaport stores, you know. And she needed a little brother around, you know. And that's what I was, a little brother. And I was like a big brother to her son, Gary, you know. I would take him to the movies. I remember taking him to see Parent Trap. Um, and, you know, so then I kept seeing this girl in the block, you know. And I'm like, Then one day, I'm on my way, I think I was on my way downtown. I was on my way home. And I ran into Carlos, and I ran into Jenny, and I ran into VG, and Wilfredo. I think it was Wilfredo. Yeah, it was Wilfredo. And we got on the, and Carlos said, "Where you going, bro? Where you going?" I said, I'm going home. You doing anything?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, come with me, man. Come with." So that's what I did. Jumped on the train, and we went to LES, the Lower East Side. The girl sitting across from me, she kept, like, you know, she was looking at me, glancing over at me, and I was glancing over at her. And I said, "That's a pretty girl, you know." So, to make a long story short, man, you know, I walked her home, and we were talking, this, that, and the other. And I asked her if she had a boyfriend, and she said no. And we kept talking, and then before I left, she said, am I going to see you again?" I said, "If you want me to see you." And she gave me a good night kiss. And I said, "Why don't you come by? Come by because my birthday is in I think 2 or 3 days." And she said, "Give me the address, I go." So I got paper, blah, blah, blah. I wrote it down, wrote my number, and can you believe she showed up? With a present. Who does that? So I started seeing her. We started seeing each other. And that's when I left Seven Diamonds and I got into vampires because they were They were vampires. That's the name of the people I mentioned, and even my girl. She was a vampire. They didn't go around biting people. That's the name of the game. So, anyways, it turned out to be pretty cool, and she knew that I was staying in Sandy's house, and she knew that Sandy was like a big sister to me, so it was no big thing. Then I would say like maybe around 2 or 3 months, I started smoking weed. When I started smoking, I got hooked on it, and I started like pulling back from Sandy, but I always thought I said, if you need me for anything, I'm around. Don't worry about me. All I got to do is look out the window. I said, you're right. So anyway, I started getting involved with the weed. Then in those days, they had glue, and sniffing glue. It was just a trick, a big trick, weed and glue. And somebody, I don't know who it was, from the group, uh, introduced us to heroin, and we snorted. Damn, man, this is good, man. You know, I'm saying, but so after that, I got I got caught up where this guy was shooting up, and I said, damn, I feel like doing that, and that's what I did. I didn't shoot up, he gave me a skin pop. Let me tell you something. I was on 85th Street when it happened. I had my eyes like this, closed, man, and I walked to the store. This lady, she said, "Ay, bendito, what? I can't believe it." And I said, "Well, I wanna, let me get, that's who I was talking to." She was like, she even told me when I saw her a couple of days later. She said, "Baby face, what? I can't. You're the last person I think that will get caught up in that." And I said, I know. But that day I walked all the way down to 72nd Street and Amsterdam and came back up Columbus Avenue. I don't know how I did it. My eyes were, when I said they were pink, all I could see was white light. I don't know how I walked down the street with a can of 7 Up in my hand drinking. So after that, I got to like, skate popping. And my girl, she really didn't know what I was doing. And then she found out. She said, "Why you always going like this? Why you always going like this?" And I said, "Nah, because I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I work hard." "You work hard doing what?" And I said, "Well, I got a part-time job, emptying garbage cans and all that." What happened was that Sandy used to pay me to take care of Gary. I'll take him to the movies or take him to the park with the guys, with the kids and all that. So she used to hit me off. Anyway, I was hanging on 84th Street one day, and it was like about, I would say like 9 o'clock at night. These cops, man, they came up. "You, get in the car." I walked over, just get in the car. So I got in the car, and they asked me, "What's your name?" Stupid things. And I said, "Why you picking on me?" "Oh, you're a wise guy." They took me down to Riverside Club and beat the shit out of me. Okay? Never forget that. They beat the shit out of me. And you know why they did that? Because they thought I was Cuban. Okay? And at that time, Castro wasn't too happy with Americans. So they were doing that to a lot of Latinos, beating the shit. I'm serious, they used to beat the shit out of me. Like the time that Lolita Lebron went to Washington and shot it up. East Harlem was in deep trouble, man, with the police. And these people had nothing to do with Washington, but they wanted to take it out on the innocent people. They even went to my house asking questions, and they started pushing my mother around and all that. And I told the detective, leave my mother alone. And he looked at me, and I was ready to kick him. And he told my mother, he said, you better put him in his place. And he said, Johnny, stop. That's moms, you gotta respect moms. So after that, man, I was like, you know what? I gotta get away from it. I'm gonna go down and hang out in, LES, Lower East Side. Then I started hanging out in Lower East Side and getting into trouble. You know, people were selling, if they were selling drugs and all that, man, me and my boys, man, would go, whoa, get drugs for free. Heroin. And that was happening for a while. Then I left LES and I went to the Bronx and I started doing the same thing. By that time, I left the vampires, you know, and in a way it's sad because they weren't caught up in that. Most of them were not caught up in those drugs, to be honest. And then there was a time where I got into a situation. I was high. I'm walking up Central Park towards, I was with my boy too. We were walking up Central Park to 86th Street. And all of a sudden these guys popped out of nowhere. Sign your name, sign your name. I said, give me a pen. You funny? I said, sign your name, Obama. What are you talking about? Look, what gang you in? Again, even though I left the vampires, I said, vampiro in Spanish. Oh, I'm sorry, perdón. I said, who are you? He said, we're dragons from 102nd. We're brothers with you people. I said, oh, man. Me salvaste la vida. You saved my life, And it's funny because that happened years later in Brooklyn. The same thing. Wow, what clique you in? What clique you in? I was on Brownsville, Junis and Livonia, and these dudes popped out. Bang. What? So I told him, I said, vampiro. He said, oh. Dragone. And I said, oh, okay. I said, yeah, the Dragons, they're my brother club, man, Chico. They, oh, tú conoces a Chico? You know Chico? I said, yeah, man, Chico from 102nd. Yeah. We didn't know people. And I knew people in the projects over there in Brownsville. They Count Bishops, Count Bishops were there. So I kept doing my thing. I would get busted, take me to the precinct house and stuff, And then they would let us go because they didn't have all the information, And I just started doing my thing, man, And one of those incidents, some dude that we knew knocked off a cab driver. Oh man, what the hell? We got arrested. We go to 20th precinct on 68th Street. They asked us questions. I said, listen, officer, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not my thing. And I was bold. I said, my thing is sticking up dealers. I'll stick up a dealer quick. I'm not going to stick up a hard-working person. You know? Dude looked at me. Police looked at me. He went. The other guy that was with us went inside. I don't know what he said, but they let us go. The third guy was the guy who killed the cab driver right there. They arrested him right on the spot. So I guess the dude that was with me went inside and said, yo, he ain't had nothing to do with it. I ain't had nothing to do with it. He had something to do with it. So that's when I said, you know what, man, let me chill. I'm going to the Bronx. Tiffany Street. While I was on Tiffany Street, man, I was sticking up everything that moved. Drug dealer. Simpson 5. Kelly. Wherever these dudes were selling in Southern Boulevard, I was me and a little crew, man, we were going around, you know. And with that, I will continue in Series 26, okay? To be or not to be? Is that the question, my friend? Peace, knowledge, and understanding. Be safe. Make sure your kids are safe. Make sure that you have your eye on your kids, because there's a lot of people out there that want to give young kids drugs to get them hooked on them. Okay?